Hello, dear yogis. Lovely to have you here and now. So here we are at week 3 of Blackbird program. Hope you've enjoyed the last couple of weeks. Hope it's sort of reached the parts that don't get reached sometimes, and the practices as sidelines. Hope you too have enjoyed those. And you don't need anything in particular today, except for a chair, or a chair. A chair would be really useful. A steady chair. Or the arm of a sofa, or something that's really steady that we can use much later on, or a bit later on in the practice. Just your usual blankets and cushions, and that's everything. And remember to follow your body as it is today. And so we shall begin. So if you'd like to start lying down, and even as you go to lie down, being attentive to your body as you reach the ground. And so we're kind of looking to sort of park ourselves in a way to rest. But actually, when we first come down, I think we need time to undo ourselves, with the movements of the shoulders, or the legs, the toes, the fingers. Maybe it's a turn of the head from side to side. Whatever it is you need in order to see if you can unearth and empty parts of things in the body that might just need to shift. You know so well now. And I would like to begin with a poem today. If you don't like poems, you can just whiz it on to the next bit if you prefer. But I like to share the poem so that you can focus on breathing and the words, so that it's used as a mindful exercise. So this one is called Spring, and it's by Christina Rossetti. Frost locked all the winter, seeds and roots and stones of fruit. What shall make their sap ascend, that they may put forth shoots? Tips of tender green, leaf or blade or sheath, telling of the hidden life that breaks forth underneath. Life nursed in its grave by death, blows the thaw wind pleasantly, drips the soaking rain. By fits looks down the waking sun, young grass springs on the plain. Young leaves clothe early hedgerow trees, seeds and roots and stones of fruits, swollen with sap, put forth their shoots. Curled-headed ferns sprout in the lane. Birds sing and pair again. There is no time like spring, when life's alive in everything. Before new nestlings sing, before cleft swallows speed their journey back along the trackless track, God guides their wing. He spreads their table that they nothing lack. Before the daisy grows a common flower, before the sun has power to scorch the world up in his noontide hour. There is no time like spring that passes by. There is no life like spring life, born to die, piercing the sod, clothing the uncouth clod, hatched in the nest, fledged on the windy bough, strong on the wind. There is no time like spring that passes by, now newly born and now hastening to die. And that's from the book, A Poem for Every Spring Day. So, just breathing in that fluid, nutritious air that brings all that you need, the life force and energy that starts to grow inside you, like dancing lights that flow and imbibe newness and bring newness from the air into your being. I'll just turn the camera now. To arrive where are your roots? Can you feel them descend? Can you remember them and grow them like an old friend? Can you feel them as they traverse into the ground? Can you sense them as they travel their new and old path simultaneously? To be able to practice breathing, to find a position that both feels comfortable and quiet to you is so important. So it allows the spine to be at its longest, with the best alignment possible for you. Often lying on the back in Shavasana is a great way of discovering this. But if it isn't for you, then know that you can change, of course. And just to let the body become heavy to the earth so you can feel that full support. And then to scan from the top of the head with your breath, completely linked with your breathing, the scanning down through the skull of any tensions that may just rise out with the exhalation. They might just lift and flow as you scan further down through the throat space and into the chest, into the torso, into the arms also, scanning down maybe through the left arm first, and then maybe into the hand, to the fingers and the thumb, into the palm of your hand, scanning, freeing tension out with your out breath. As your attention rises back through the left arm and across the top of the chest, inside, deep inside the top of the chest, through to the shoulders, under the collarbones, through to the right side and to the right arm, scanning tension, letting tension dissolve out of the right arm, all the way down through the elbow, lower arm, wrist and hand, through the fingers and the thumb. This great observation that allows just that simple moment of release because of your awareness being so key. Rising your attention back up the arm and down through the torso once more. Traveling down, 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 incorporating every aspect of blood and bone and sinew and skin and energetic aspects of you, all the way through to the belly, to this magic space, your creative center, where so much is born. So much is born, like a fire within. A spark turns to a flame. An idea comes into reality. A feeling of love becomes an expression of love. All these things that can be born in beauty within you as you scan around the belly, around the back, throughout your pelvis. And it's okay to stay a little while in this area just to receive and release that bit more where so much goes on. And through the digestive space, through the pelvis, scanning shortly down the left leg, touched by the breath and the clearing. It almost gathers and travels forth, travels on, travels down. Through the foot, through the left foot, through the toes. Not forgetting the ankle, the sole of the foot. rising back. Send your attention down the right leg, moving through, clearing so easily. It becomes almost fun to kind of to use that bright imagination, even if you don't think you have one, and just use it to clear, to dance through the energy of your being, down through this right leg into the foot, clearing the ankle, clearing the whole of the foot, through the bones, through the skin, through the tendons and the muscles, through the fascia of the muscles, which is so important. Why? Because we can remain supple and the body feels more respected when not pushed and forced of the fascia, the covering of the muscles. So it prevents injury actually when we release the fascia. Relax the sole of this foot and all of the toes. And when you feel that every part of you is touched by this scanning, releasing, breathing beauty, then slide your heels up the mat to bring the soles of your feet to the floor, to bring a sense, a new sense to the back of the waistline. And just for a moment to bring the knees up over the belly, or a few moments in fact, and to hold the knees, again like greeting an old friend. The thigh bones remember to slide, to sink into the oily bowls of the pelvis, which nourish the thigh bones through and through. Allow the legs to rise to the sky as if the soles of the feet are greeting gravity in the air. And at the same time, the arms float to the sky for a few moments in the gravity pose that we looked at last week. And just for a few moments, feel the belly drawing back. And as soon as you need to, float the hands back to the legs and draw the knees so slowly, so that you feel the lower spine conveying its new length as the heels as the heels draw down and the toes spread and flex, and the jaw becomes softer, the jaws slightly open, and the tongue begins its quietening journey. And then rolling onto your side to face me here. That's lovely. Sometimes my lefts and rights just dissolve, and just rolling onto your side and taking something underneath your head if you need it. Now, if you feel like your head is dipping back, then it's good to take a cushion. If it feels comfortable like this, then as you are, and to breathe, to feel your spine in this position as the top arm draws up, the bottom arm as the elbow draws to the sky, and a turn of the head soon as the elbow floats out behind, and then opens a little way. That's it, until there's just a slight softness in the elbow as the arm travels to where it feels drawn to be. So you might feel that barrier, that kind of energetic barrier where the arm doesn't wish to go anymore. And then to float it back with that softness in the elbow. And as if there's, again, last week we were looking at kind of the marionette string, as if there's one behind the elbow or the arm that draws you open. And to remind your face to become quieter. And to relax the palms of your hands as you continue to flow in this way. And that softness in the elbow, that's soft, and then it can open to where it feels drawn to be. How does it feel in this position to you now, in the center of your being, within your spine, within your energy centers? How does it feel? Give and give and give your weight. Know that more can be dissolved to the earth, given to the earth, to leave you lighter, to leave the skin lighter on the front of the body. And relaxing behind the Adam's apple space to feel the beautiful avenue of openness in the throat space, in the face, behind the face, within the skull. Feeling the space within your skull. How is that? How does it feel? To feel roominess with between the ears and flow back lightly, as light as a feather. The arms with that soft elbow flow back as you roll, and that rolling is initiated, rolling on your side and revealing the freedom around the shoulders. The plates that the shoulders are, the muscles that move around so expertly when we can let them go. So flow again, soften, elbow drawn like a magnet up, as if you become less and less involved in the movement somehow. It just evolves from the center of your being. It happens because of your grounded awareness. I was going to say, as if by magic, but it isn't that. It's your awareness. Magic happens when you undo and when you're able, alchemy, it's pure alchemy, to change from one state to another through a few movements and breath. Yes, pure alchemy that's led completely by you. Not me, but you. A partnership, yes. A connection, yes. But it's you linking in that creates this flow. So come and go as you please. Come and go And if it feels better to stay open a while, then stay open with the arms open and that freedom abound. Otherwise, just keep that fluid rolling possibility. Keep it rolling to bring that openness within, which allows your heart to shine, which allows your lungs to be free. And then the arm slides to the thigh. And these circles, the rolling circles of the arm behind, begin to ensue. And just allowing the arm to travel in a 360-degree sort of rolling journey. Or less, if your arm, your shoulder doesn't want to do that. And your body is really awakening that. So this rolling is really taking place. And you're opening from the inside, from the spine. And we reverse the circle each time. And can you feel the ribs almost becoming more spacious, springing apart with that lovely connection of intercostal muscles, which feel that connection but can spread and open with a new abundance. And to remind that space behind the Adam's apple, or the sort of at that kind of height, just let it be. And a little lower, the thyroid space. It's a bit like a bow shape. Just allowing the air to expand into the thyroid to help stimulate our metabolism, to keep it revived and happy. So just maybe another circle or two when you're ready. The feet resting near each other, the ankles, kind of relaxing the ankles and the soles of your feet, and noticing if any yawns are starting to appear. Especially with that roominess in the throat space, within the skull, within the back of the neck. So breathing in through the middle of the face or around the bridge of the nose, and exhaling into the back of the skull. And do this 4 times now, breathing in through the face and exhaling wide into the back of the skull. Inhaling when you're ready into the face, exhaling to the back of the skull. Far-reaching, dynamic breath that soothes the back of the skull and the back of the neck, that holds on dear sometimes. Useful in those moments, but not to stay, for tensions to dissolve. And when you're ready, just the eyes, the eyelids being very soft, the jaw being very soft, and gently rolling onto your other side, taking your time to bring your knees high, just for a few moments to feel the waistline, make that connection, and then drawing to the other side. Bringing the knees. Now the top arm, the elbow draws up the arm, the elbow floats to the sky. The upper arm is drawing almost out of the shoulders before it travels behind and opens out until that barrier of air completes its journey. Softly, fluidly rolling back to that touch of the other hand, and then that light, fluid, sort of opening so there's space inside the elbow, space inside the arm, a relaxed hand and wrist, fingers and palm softer somehow. The hands that do so much, the hands that are so busy, can now be given this soft awareness of release. And feel how the body loves gentleness. Feel how fluid movement incites the most wonderful inquiry of release. Allow the jaw to be soft. Allow that spaciousness in the throat and through the avenue, that central avenue of your being. Just recognize it, acknowledge it. As you reveal your inner workings, almost like your inner secrets of the body are just now opening, as the trees are to spring. And later, when you look back at this video, possibly, then look at the tree behind in the window that's behind Elizabeth and see how that has grown in a week or two. And as spring develops, feel that clear air moving inside and the beautiful turning of the spine as you roll, and allow that rolling to become more active. Soften your eyes. Notice those yawns, how they come when we allow them, how they come. Real acceptance of what is. feeling your inner smile. Shifting. And then the circles come in 360 degrees. Roll into it. Roll and roll. And then start to notice around the belly and the movement of the belly, the involvement of the groins and the thighs, and the insides of the thighs and the buttocks, and just allowing more and more release. Let the sighs come if the yawns are not present yet. Let the sighs come. Let the calves relax. Feel the feet, the soles of the feet relaxed, and notice the one end of the spine and the other, all the way up to the other end, and to the crown of the head as you roll and move and reveal that light within. It's like finding that seam deep inside the earth. And just one or two more circles. Feel that beauty of openness. And then come to rest and feel the air moving in through the face and expanding into the back of the head, the back of the skull. The new breath repeats this a few times more, maybe 4 times. In this way, expanding. The ground transforms what you have released. The ground absorbs it, transforms it. More alchemy taking place. The gift. And after that process, we need to ground again. to come onto all fours, to come into the child, to feel the forehead on the ground, assists with the process of bedding in, of allowing. And if the child isn't possible for you, you could stand instead and just lean forward onto a chair with your forehead resting on a cushion instead. Feel the openness within the shoulders in the child in this position. Imagine your heart is like a lotus that opens onto the back body and opens to the front of the body with that connection in between of space and life and energy. So expanding the layers of your heart, expanding breath. And in a moment or two, you can take off your socks if you have them on, and we will then come to a standing position. Might feel quite alien after that deep relief that may have taken place for you. Yeah, if you want to come into a squatting position before you rise up, then feel free, or just rising up as you wish and gently flowing into your mountain. And just standing in the center of your mat and just facing in this direction. Now help yourself to water at this point. You might need some water, and you also might need to really come home back to the body with some kind of free movement. Just shake everything out and roll and, shake the legs out and the ankles and, rolling through the shoulders and turning, allowing the head to have a little wobble on the top of the vertebra. Just see how it feels as you wobble the neck. So the weight of the head can be given to the spine, and then from the spine through the legs, through the ankles, through the feet. And breathe. Let your eyes open. What were you thinking?
It was the weight of the head properly became aware of the spine support that sort of settled onto it with that wiggle. it felt as though my head had got shorter to the top of my head was about there. It was a perception change.
Perception changed. Yeah. Interesting.
It was
held.
Yeah.
It was held.
Yeah.
Brilliant. Interesting observation. Yeah. Let's play with that. Let's take that further, feeling the spine, feel the long length of your spine, the head balanced on the top vertebra with that wriggle, but bring your attention all the way down the legs to the heels and just drop into the heels. And as you, again, dropping down through the head, through the shoulders, and just stay around the buttocks for a moment and just see if you can release the buttocks. Release the buttocks, release the thighs, relax knees, soft knees, lower legs, ankles, and the buttocks still releasing as you soften the tops of the feet. So if we relax the buttocks, it has a huge influence on the feet. Excuse me. A huge influence on the feet. And remember the arches of the feet that lift and the toes that spread. Toes lift and spread. And maybe see if you can just lift your heels off the ground now. Just floating onto the balls of the feet as the toes spread. And relaxing throughout the body, through the buttocks as the heels drop down. And the heels spread as they find the earth. Just in your own timing, a few times more of feeling the balls of the feet spreading, the little toes spreading out to the side. Yeah, it's a real balancing act. It's not easy to come. You might feel it's easy at home, I don't know. But sometimes I think it can be really difficult. And just spreading, relaxing your buttocks and letting the heels really find their place and the four corners of the feet. If we were together now in a class situation, I'd get us to hold each other's feet and massage the lower legs and really get that going. Really get that groundedness going through the feet and legs. And then that changes the spine. So, feel just one knee lifts and then the other. And again, just sort of shaking out almost. Just sort of freeing your body. Freeing up. Lifting the foot completely off the ground and shaking out the ankle. And lifting the other knee and shaking out. And just seeing if that balance is, present or not. Doesn't matter where we are with balance. It is what it is. And then just turning to your chair or your bench, whatever it is you have with you, around you. And just let the head wobble again on the top of the vertebra. And allowing that kind of underneath the chin. You can say E, 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 E. And then you can, finding that space in the throat, like the kind of orange, lift the roof of the mouth, lovely. And allow the heels to sink as your buttocks relax. And the top of the feet relax again. And the knees yield a little. And then the bend begins, flowing over the top of the hips, sending the pelvis back. The front of the body growing as much as the back of the body. And you can really lean your weight, the weight of the arms, onto that support that you have. And turn the head slowly again. Let it, as if the head is corkscrewing length through the neck, that gets a bit impinged, can get impinged, can get shorter, can get shorter. Bend the knees a little more, send the pelvis further back, feel the waistline opening, feel the belly engaging to the front of the spine. And gently, gently, gently breathing the air within. And if anything becomes, when you've had enough, you could stay just a few seconds longer, or you could take your arms to the ground, or you can rise, whatever you feel you need. Feel the heels being drawn down. Feel the balls of the feet being drawn down. If your hands touch your feet, press them. Press them onto the feet. And breathe and float. And heels down, tail down. Rise through the waistline. Rise through the mid-back. Through the upper back. It takes a long time for the neck and the head to rise and the crown of the head to be to the sky. Let the eyes open. Soft awareness with the eyes. Remember, the soft awareness helps to trigger the vagus nerve and to keep switching into that healing space. And just stepping back to the middle of the mat, facing still in the direction you are. Gentle step forward with the left foot and bend the left knee. Allow the arms to float to the sky in the lightest way possible, with the shoulders widening away and then up to the ceiling as you drop through the heels. Perfect. Drop through the feet, drop through the feet. Breathe, breathe. Soft. And then rolling onto the ball of the back foot, and the front leg just straightens, and just feeling the length, feeling the space through the spine. And here you can play. You can stay, you can come down, or you can plant more through that front foot and lift through the back foot and pendulum, the palms opposite each other. Palms opposite each other, arms lovely, high towards the ears to start with, and the right side of the pelvis just dropping, perfect. And the heel, extend away, toes spread. You are held by gravity through the hands, through the feet, through the tailbone, through the crown of your head. And float back, bring the ball of the foot back to the earth and come back the way you came, dropping through that lovely, bending that front knee and releasing the arms down, and then stepping back with that left foot and shaking out, rolling. Just that simplicity. Breath. Forward bend again. Just to the chair, to the table, just rolling. Just lengthening forward and enjoying this as this counter pose after that balance, after that lengthening. And feet plugged into the earth. Relax your ankles. Can you feel the grounding coming in through your feet, through your hands, into your spine, in through the tailbone, rising slowly when you feel ready. Shake out the feet, shake out the shoulders. Then we prepare to do the same to the other side. To step forward with the right foot. To feel it land on the earth and for the knee to bend. To feel your awareness in your feet. To let your arches rise and your heels sink and your toes spread. And for the arms to float out, bringing the shoulders wider, eventually up to the sky with the palms opposite each other. That gentle roll onto the ball of the back foot, which brings your front leg into this long column of support, like bamboo that imbibes the water through the center. And the toes spread. And then the floating might, the pendulum, is there to be discovered if you wish. And we look for the balance of the pelvis. It looks great as it is. And the heel behind extends away. And you are a friend of gravity. It's all around you. It's holding you in space. As you breathe, as you play. Breathe, breathe, breathe. Let that air support you as long as the grounding. And really tuning into that, the air all around you and how it supports you. And then the back leg comes back and the front knee bends again. Both sets of toes widen. And the arches lift and you come back to the mountain. You might wish to take a few steps to walk around your room, to walk around your space. To find your feet and feel as your spine changes, as you take in, you're imbibing these changes, and you need a bit of this sort of simple walking, simple rolling to accept the changes that are coming. And as you come back to your mat facing me and just taking a wide stance, allow both of your feet to point to the right, and then drop in. Relax your buttocks, your shoulders, the back of the neck, inside the neck, the shoulders. Remember the windsock, an image of a windsock through your center that brings all this lovely space into your center. And the front knee bends over the ankle and the feet are truly plugged in as the right arm starts to circle towards your chair. And we start to lift through the side ribs. And so we're playing with Trikonasana, the triangle here. We're just playing. But what's most important is that we don't force ourselves into shapes here, because I believe that Trikonasana, the triangle, is very strong. It's very strong on the body. So if you don't want to go further than this, then that's absolutely fine. It's a beautiful, helpful movement. But if you wish to keep going, you can send the arm, send the elbow to the knee to bring that the top shoulder back, and to allow the top arm to float open and to feel that lightness of the arm in space, the fingers wide, the thumb out to the side, the palm of the hand open. Now feel yourself in space. You are supported all around you in space, all around you. And breath. And then you can gently rise. Rising through your feet, the arms can both lift. You can draw the arms down and turn the front foot in, the back heel in, and just shake out into a free position. Hug the arms across the chest. Walk the feet in if they're a little wide now, and just release the feet. Rolling, rolling through the shoulders. And the possibility of taking the legs wide again, pointing the feet to the same direction as before. We'll just take this, delving to see, and allow the same process to take place. The circling of the arm over the bent knee, the reaching out, and then eventually you might just spring the arm to rest onto the bench, for the front leg to be long and straight, and the back leg to come off the floor. So keep the circling going a bit longer. So we're looking at the half moon now. And so it has to come from action. So we roll into action, and then the back leg comes off the floor. The arm reaches to the bench. The leg underneath you is straight, and the top arm reaches to the sky, and you look to that arm in the air. The heel extends away, and all your starfish points extend away. And breathe. Keep that elbow bent underneath you onto the bench. That's lovely. And relax your jaw, your neck. Draw your foot in 2 inches into the room to release the lower back. And whenever you want to come out, bend the knee on the ground and roll back into your starfish. Wide starfish. Yeah, let it roll. Let your starfish roll. Take the energy out of the feet that's built up, and just let your body become really free. Really free. There's a song like that, isn't there? Really free, really free. I can't quite remember who it's by now. John somebody. Yeah, be like seaweed. Get that fluid flow going. And roll up onto the ball of one foot and the ball, and circle around a little to free your feet and ankles. Just undoing. You can turn in a moment and face the window, and we can see from this direction as you take a wide step, and pointing both feet to the direction of your support. Yet the front body faces forward, and the front knee bends, and the arm reaches out. We do the triangle first. We won't go into the half moon yet. We'll just go into the triangle where the arm can reach down on towards the elbow. The elbow reaches to the knee, and maybe a little rest is taken of the elbow to the knee, and the top arm lifts outwards, up, and breath. And you can look to that arm in the air. So we've got one bent knee, one bent leg, and one straight leg. And the key of this position is the breath and the feet and the spine, of course. Now relax the feet and ankles. The insides of the legs, the groins, the buttocks. That's lovely. There was a turn came then as you did that. And then as soon as you need to come out, just gather the belly and rise up and out with the arms and down. Turn the left foot in and walk in for a moment and just shake out. Then we take a wide step again, turning both feet towards your support, your chair or your bench, whatever you have. And the movement, the toes become wide, the little toes plug in, the four corners of the feet descend, the arches lift. The front knee bends and the arm nearest the bench starts to lift and roll to incite space in the side of your body. To really lift, to really grow, to open. And then the movement then expands because the leg, you make this almost a small leap into the security of the bench, and the back leg lifts and the top arm reaches to the sky, and you look to the arm in the sky, and the standing leg is completely straight to give you that column of support. The heel grows away, the toes widen, the foot goes forward 2 inches to release the sacrum. Breathe into the back of the body, knowing that you can come down at any point by bending the standing leg and returning safely to ground. Breath, breath. Well done. Starfish. Toes turn in. Starfishing, and then release the arms. Yeah, get flowing, and then you can turn back to this direction. In fact, you could do one more forward bend before we come to a sitting position. If you really wanted more, you could do a dog at this point. But that might be strong enough. That was quite strong. To let the air in, to feel that space and length of the spine. And then you can, whenever you feel ready, you can put your socks on. So this natural pause in the practice allows you to, find your water, do what you need to do as we move from the dynamic aspect to, sitting is also dynamic in a way. Sitting is a doing word. And, as you come to sit, your alignment true still. And you can start to rest your eyes and soften through the jaw. And just observing the cycles of your breath. So you can begin to let the base of your position become heavier as you breathe out. This means letting the bones greet the earth more and giving time for the muscles around those bones to quieten also. Back to the feeling of the head balanced on the top vertebra, and just letting the head wibble, letting it balance very slowly. Let it wibble and settle. Then it can become quiet again as you encourage the back of the head to feel wide with your next exhalation. And space comes between the ears, and the back of the neck is long. Chin and jaw release down a little. The chin dropping back towards the throat with that openness through the avenue of the throat. Let your shoulders be wide, quiet, quietly releasing away from the center of the body and dropping far, far away from your ears. Let the elbows become heavy and the palms or the backs of your hands just resting. And the movement of the out-breath travels along the inner line of the spine, behind the front ribs. Front of your ribs quieten. And lengthen down towards your hips. As you exhale, breathe through the nose, letting the stomach pull back towards the spine. Inhaling when you need to, exhaling, feeling the stomach pulling back to the spine. Maybe you'll notice the waistline beginning to lengthen subtly. And if you encourage the belly to draw in a little stronger, maybe the lower back becomes broader and freer. Exhaling through the nose. Your pelvic floor might slightly tighten at the very end of the out-breath. Hear the sound of the breath. As it travels through the throat space and expands into the chimenea of the belly. Feel that pelvic floor, your pelvic floor, just tightening slightly at the very end of the out-breath. The weight of the legs and the pelvis are given more to the floor. Any tension within the front of the hips or the hip space is given away as you continue to quieten the sitting bones with each successive out-breath. Truly receive the inhalation. Let the in-breath really come to you. As if the in-breath is being discovered from the base of your body, from where the out-breath just finished. The pull of gravity draws your bones and body down further as the tummy, the belly fills with the in-breath. And let the next in-breath rise up along the inner line of the spine, filling the back ribs, and the front ribs can stay passive and quiet. Let that breath, that in-breath travel up within you, reaching up inside the shoulders, up through the neck and into the back of the head. And if there's any sense of the rib cage feeling a little tight or constricted, then imagine this whole area is porous and that you can receive it, receive that breath in. So the in-breath is within you, it can come into you, reach inside you, reach through you and beyond you. And return to that feeling of the out-breath. Now you may have found somewhere where you feel truly comfortable and you might still be discovering, but you might have had enough sitting. So I'll let you decide whether you need sitting or lying as we come to the end of the focus of the deep belly breathing, really. So Ujjayi, a classic breathing practice from India, you know, the origins. And just letting your natural breath flow as you come to rest, as you come to ease your body, ease your being. To find the ground first, we will be hugging the knees just to release the back after sitting so long. But there's no hurry to hug the knees. If you want to hug the knees, then do so. And sway. Let that lullaby of little boats just soothe you. Let it soothe you. No, and feel free to just move how you feel drawn to move. You might want to spiral. You might want to send your legs all the way over to one direction to incorporate all that's taken place. And as soon as you wish to, just coming to rest with the soles of the feet on the ground, your arms or your legs straight, whatever you feel better with for your rest, or your legs up the chair. And I'd just like you to have a few minutes to just take in all that has occurred. But first, I'd like you to see the first thing that comes up that you are grateful for in your life. And give gratitude to this first offering that arises. Then, what comes next? What is truly waiting? And again, what comes up? Just keep that going. Whatever rises, give gratitude. Allowing the gratitude practice to dissolve away. I told you about my dream of the blackbird, and that's why I called this program Blackbird. Well, there was just a male blackbird on the branch of the tree watching in then, and I was listening to the song. I don't know if you'll be able to pick it up on the video, but if you can, that was the blackbird singing, and then it flew across the tree, and I just thought that was so interesting. That beautiful song. So anything you can hear, anything you can sense, anything you can feel, anything you can touch, anything you can taste, and any colours you might see even with your eyes closed. Return to the picture of your roots and notice what shape they might be in, as in what is the quality of your roots? How do they feel? Do they feel strong, powerful, tenacious, or do they feel tentative, as if they need some more work? And just tune in to how your roots feel as we come to the end of this session. And my gratitude goes to you and Elizabeth for continuing this work. Those of you that have stayed, it feels really beautiful, actually, just being able to develop, because you've all been there a while, and it's lovely to develop. So thank you for staying with this. And I look forward to seeing you next time, and I send you lots of love. Listen out for the Blackbird song and how it trills up at the end. I thought I'd better learn the song because I didn't actually know it. So lots of love. See you next time. And in the email that I've sent you, don't forget to email me if there's anything that you'd like to play with, because I've left some spaces later on in the programme to add your choices. So if there is anything, and don't worry if there's not, then do get in contact. Let me know how you're getting on. All right then, bye for now.